好的海，一团花叶出水来。
And I'm from the Rutgers expatriate training services, and today we're going to teach you how to properly do business in China. First, we'll start with greetings and customs, and then move on to relationship building, and then the rest of the cultural dimensions in China.
In a continuation of our Doing Business in China series, we're learning about local customs as it relates to business greetings. Formality is a sign of respect in China, so it's imperative during your first meeting to clarify how you will address someone. Don't ever use someone's given name unless you've known them for a very long time. Only family members or close friends use first names in China. Remember that in China, people's first names appear in different order than in Western culture. The last name or the family name goes first, then the first name or the given name goes next. For example, in the name Wang Wu, Wang is actually the family name and Wu is the first name. Now, when you're addressing a Chinese person for business purposes, you should use the family name along with their title. For example, Director Chang or Chairman Chen. Whenever possible, address people using their official titles, such as committee member, general, or bureau chief. You can usually drop the first word of the person's title, so vice chairman becomes chairman, assistant general manager becomes general manager, or deputy chief becomes simply chief. Now, if a person doesn't have a professional title or you don't know what it is, you can address the person using their family name, for example, Ms. Wang or Mr. Li. Make note though, a married Chinese woman usually keeps her maiden name and only uses her husband's last name on occasions for formal addressing. Now, let's cover greetings. The most common form of greeting is a slight nod or bow. Handshaking is now a common business greeting, but they're very different from Western handshakes. The handshake may last as long as 10 seconds and will be very light instead of the Western firm and forceful pumping, so don't be surprised. After the greeting, Chinese people will lower their eyes slightly as a sign of respect. Don't stare into their eyes because it will make them very uncomfortable. Business card exchanging, very important. Use two hands to present your business card and make a slight bow. Make sure that your name is facing them right side up. Remember to respect face during dealings with the Chinese. By face, I mean public appearance and standing. Losing face could lose you a deal. A person's face is also seen as the company's face. The relationship that you're building with the person is the relationship you're building with the entire company. Also, remember to give gifts, but give the right ones.
A typical U.S. greeting would be,
"Hey, I'm Megan.
Very nice to meet you."
In this situation, these two make a direct introduction to each other. This is very common in U.S. culture. Also, notice the eye contact. They look at each other directly in their eyes.
A typical Chinese greeting would be,
"Hello, old friend, Ms. Wang. This is my friend, John Smith. Nice to meet you."
In this situation, Mr. Smith is introduced by a mutual friend. In Chinese culture, it is not polite to introduce yourself to a stranger. Notice his lack of eye contact. He avoids excessive eye contact in order to not disrespect his new acquaintance. Also take note of the length of the handshake. A typical handshake in China lasts about 10 seconds.
The formal versus informal dimension focuses on the power in countries. In regards to China, they are a formal country. The reason they are considered formal is because they run on power and status. They address people by their family name rather than their given name, and it allows them to show respect for those around them. This can easily be related to Hofstede's power distance dimension, which China received a high score in.
China is considered masculine because they receive a score of 66. The society is driven by competitiveness and success. The Chinese people find it easy to leave their family and life behind in order to work and achieve the status and success they want. As compared to a country that is considered feminine, their society runs on caring for those around them as well as the quality of life.
The following video shows why China is a reserved culture as opposed to an expressive culture. Our trainer, Jeff Castle, will further explain why.
Doing business in China takes a lesson in Chinese business culture. In China, it's all about trusting relationships, or guanxi. The foundation of life in Asia is that you are bound by your value-laden relationships to do right. In a highly bureaucratic state like China, the use of personal contacts is the only way to get things done. People rely on a relationship's value to honor their transaction. It's for this reason that relationships are not easily made. The wrong relationship could mean serious trouble and leave little room for escape. You know, Westerners are often known to be fast-paced, contract-driven, and unwilling to slow down. Sound like you? Doing business in China means you need to interact with them in a way that makes sense to them. That involves relationship building, networking, and not forcing negotiations immediately. It can be frustrating, I know, when it seems like it's going both fast and slow at the same time, but you need to give yourself and your potential deal time to play out in the Chinese way. Whipping out a contract early in the negotiation process is seen as an indicator of bad faith. Don't do it. It's considered inappropriate, and your draft contract will be seen as irrelevant. To the Chinese, it carries a sense of commitment, and they can just sign the document to humor you and their Western guests. You see, business clauses are seen as a useful agenda, but they carry no obligations. It's the trusting relationships that are committal, not contracts. A contract can actually be seen as a step that shows both sides are getting closer to developing a relationship. So don't be surprised if after a signed contract, they ask you for more concessions. But remember, you can do the same.
The United States is typically deal-focused. They put less emphasis on relationships, and China is the exact opposite, making them more relationship-focused. Here's a clip that depicts a typical Chinese business meeting.
It's been nice building this business relationship with you over the past year. I agree. I think we should finally sign this contract. Let's get it going.
In this situation, we have two business partners who have known each other for an extended period of time. This allows them to have more trust in the partnership, which builds the foundation for their business relationship. The Chinese do not rush into business decisions and tend to take a longer time to reach agreements, especially with new partners. Let's see what happens when a newcomer comes in and tries to approach them with a business deal.
Hello, strangers. My name is Megan. I'm here to do business with you.
In this situation, the third party comes in and immediately is ready to strike a deal. This is the short-term orientation. She is not worried about building a relationship, but strictly on getting a deal done, which is a deal focus. She also violates several other cultural norms in the process.
Next, we will go over how China is a collectivist culture. This means that the focus is we instead of I, as it is here in the United States.
Hey guys, we all did a great job finally getting this business deal settled.
Man, I did all the work.
You know what, buddy? This is China. We are a collectivist culture. Yeah. We all did it together. We're a team. Take your American individualism back to America. Woo! China power.
Here we have a business group that just reached a landmark deal. In the Chinese culture, they are a collectivist culture, which means they focus more on team accomplishment rather than an individual. This person feels that they did more than the other group. This is an individualistic mindset, which is more common in the US.
With regards to communication style, China is a very high context culture. This means that they communicate more indirectly, and their communication style is much more held back than in the United States. In China, information is not just given to the people, they have to search around for it more. Words and word choice are also very important since they use fewer words to get their messages across. Thank you for participating in our training program. Now you should be equipped with the knowledge to make an emotional and intellectual adjustment to your experience in China. We hope this has been helpful and informative.
Hey guys, you did a great job.
Can you say give me a go?
you gonna bitch now?